As the price on his head continues to grow, John Wick is searching all across the world to find his freedom from the high table. Just when he finds his out, however, Wick is faced with a new series of bounty hunters, all looking to score a big payday. Now Wick is forced to turn to old friends and allies to live long enough just for a chance at freedom. This is John Wick, Chapter 4. John Wick Chapter 4 is the fourth film in the John Wick franchise. And for some reason, they decided to forego having a subtitle to this film. Which is weird because Chapter 3 had a subtitle. I don't quite get that. Now, the John Wick franchise is a franchise that I consider to get better with every installment. They up the action set pieces every time, and the world building that these films ensue is surprisingly intriguing. Not many franchises succeed with the bigger is better mindset when it comes to making a franchise, but these films do it perfectly, taking everything you love from the previous films and upping it to 11. But does John Wick Chapter 4 continue the trend of upping the ante every time? Yeah, it did, and I loved it. Now, John Wick, both the franchise and the character, are probably what gave Keanu Reeves the spotlight back in Hollywood. And yes, I know, he was always in Hollywood, but I'm just saying, without the John Wick films, we probably wouldn't have gotten Matrix 4. And depending on your opinion on Matrix 4, that may or may not be a good thing. But Keanu Reeves is phenomenal as John Wick. He has a very stoic and almost silent presence in this film. He does talk, but very minimally, I feel. And I get that he's taken a bit of a beating over the past 3 movies, so I wouldn't be much for words either. But Keanu Reeves does such a phenomenal job at delivering so much to this character with so little. Oh, and I guess I should mention that he does most of his own stunt work in this movie, adding a whole nother layer on top of this fantastic action performance of this fantastic action hero. But the supporting cast of the film is great too. I seriously am not sure where I should begin with them because everyone in this film is really good. Because this film gives its entire cast a huge moment to shine. Specifically Donnie Yen's character, because oh my god, this character was so cool and he kicked ass. And he has one of the most creative action scenes I've seen in a long time. And of course you have some returning cast members like Ian McShane and Lawrence Fishburne, but you also have some new ones too. Bill Skarsgård, Hiroyuki Sanada, Clancy Brown. I tell you, everyone in this movie is so good with the role they're given, and they all deliver. Even if they're not in more action-oriented scenes, they just have a great presence and you're enthralled watching them. Just an outstanding supporting cast to this film. However, my animalistic-like urge to watch a movie and see the actors in the movie as other characters they've played was on in full force during this film. Neo, Mr. Krabs, Pennywise, Tai Lung, the guy from Rogue One, I don't know his name. All of them are together in one scene of this movie, and it just kind of made me laugh. But if there is one thing the John Wick franchise is known for, it's the action scenes. They have stepped up the action in this film to a point where I can't imagine any film going any further. When the action scenes start kicking off in this movie, there is hardly a dull moment during them or in between them. This film goes at a constant pace of fuck yeah. This is a very well-paced, fast-paced movie. And by that I mean it's a film that once it starts, it doesn't stop. And I love those kind of movies. It's a film that when it starts, it doesn't stop. And when it does stop, the credits are probably about to roll. The action scenes in this film are so well choreographed and mesmerizing to watch at times. There is one action scene in this movie that you cannot tell me was not inspired by the game Hotline Miami. I can guarantee you that was absolutely the inspiration for this scene, and I am fully grateful they went that direction because this scene kicked so much ass. I know I say, oh, this is some of the best action I've seen in a movie in a while, a whole lot, and trust me, I get that, but I just can't help but feel like it's applicable here because the action of this film just spoke to me. I loved everything about it. Something that impresses me the most about the John Wick franchise is their ability to world build. The different continental hotels they introduce, the new bounty hunters they introduce, it's all really cool and intriguing, a lot more cooler and more in-depth than I would have expected it to be. There are some characters in this movie that are so cool and they're introduced so well, I wouldn't mind seeing them get a spin-off movie. You know how big that is for me to say that? I haven't said that for a Marvel movie in a long time. Look, I love the MCU, but man, they're making too many spin-offs. Off topic, I know. The way the characters are written, introduced, and play into the movie makes me love them as much as I do John Wick. This franchise could easily be like oh, hey, look at all these cool action scenes. Do you care about the characters? No? Well, at least you got the action scenes. Kind of like the Fast and the Furious movies, the action scenes aren't as good, but they definitely fall back on that to me. I don't give a shit about the characters in those movies, but the action scenes are okay. But this film hits every mark to me, and I freaking adored every second of it. And the thing I think I appreciate most about this film, and I don't really qualify this as a spoiler, they were able to dedicate it to Lance Riddick with only a week's notice. That's pretty awesome for the filmmakers and the studio to do that, and rest in peace, Mr. Riddick. But yeah, I absolutely adored everything about this movie from beginning to end, and I highly recommend it. The 3-hour runtime may seem a bit steep to some, but this is without a doubt one of the best around 3-hour movies I've seen in a good while. I hope you all enjoyed this review, and if you did, please consider hitting that like button, and if you want to see more, hit that subscribe button and ring that bell to be notified when my next review drops. Oh, and by the way, check out the website. Until next time, I'm Quint Dunaway, hoping you will keep it cinematic.